Hello friends, how are you doing today? My name is Mary and this is Happily Fresh. So today I am doing my TBR for the Tome Topple Readathon. This is a readathon that goes from April 7th to April 20th. So it's a 2-week-long readathon, and I'm pretty bad about setting myself TBRs and kind of planning my reading out, but I thought because this was spread out over a longer period of time and they were bigger books that I've been wanting to get to, this is just going to be a nice little push for me. The Tome Topple Readathon is all about reading books that are over 500 pages long, which I think is awesome, to give some of those bigger books on your shelf some love. I always end up loving reading big books when I'm not scared of them, and so that's kind of been a goal of mine this year, so I think it'll be really great to get to some of these. They say that this is kind of a more chill readathon. It's a little longer, there's a little more space to work with, and also it's just, focused on really picking up and reading and giving some love to those bigger books. And I will link the Goodreads group down below and all the creators' channels, and you can find more about the readathon there in the Goodreads group. There are some challenges that you can or cannot complete. It's kind of up to you. The first challenge is to read more than one tome, so more than one book over 500 pages. I have 4 books picked out here. I don't think I'll get to all of them, but hopefully I'll at least read 2. That would be awesome. Another challenge, that's to read a graphic novel. I don't think that I will be completing this challenge unless I somehow am able to get Saga Volume 2 from my library, and I mean technically I'm not going to get a 500-page graphic novel read. The only ones I would really be willing to read right now are the Saga graphic novels. I read Volume 1 in January and I really enjoyed it, and I would like to continue on with that. My library I don't think carries them, so I'm gonna see if I can get it from an interlibrary loan exchange, but we'll see. So I might pick up Saga Volume 2 and 3 if I can get those from my library. The next challenge is to read a tome that is part of a series, and for that I chose Wildwood, written by Colin Meili and illustrated by Carson Ellis. And this, as you can tell, is beautifully illustrated, and there's illustrations inside the book as well. Beautiful black and white sketch drawings. I love her style of illustration, and so I'm really excited to get to this. This is a middle grade novel, so I think it'll be a really good one, a little more fast-paced of a read because it is quite chunky, as all of these books are quite chunky. But I'm really excited to hopefully have a new middle grade series to fall in love. This is all about a girl whose sister is swept away by a murder of crows, and she's cast to go find them, and it's all about her adventure. It's set in Portland. It's a nod to just the wildness in the wilderness in Portland, which I think is really cool. I think we get a lot of kind of fairy tale-esque stories set in other countries, so it's kind of cool to have a fairy tale set in the States, which I'm really excited for. And I'm going to read you the first page because I think it just sets the story up so well. Chapter 1, A Murder of Crows. How 5 crows managed to lift a 20-pound baby boy into the air was beyond Prue, but that was certainly the least of her worries. In fact, if she were to list her worries right then and there as she sat spellbound on the park bench and watched her little brother Matt carried aloft in the talons of those 5 black crows, puzzling out just how this feat was being done would likely come in dead last. First on her list, her baby brother. Her responsibility was being abducted by birds. A close second, what did they plan on doing with him? So I just think that this is going to be a fun adventure story, middle grade. It's hopefully going to be a fast-paced read for the readathon, and I'm really excited to get to it. Another challenge is to read an adult novel. All of the rest of the novels that I have picked out are adult novels, so I'll just go ahead and show those to you now. The first being The Queen of the Night by Alexander Chee. I have been itching to get to this, and when I decided that I was going to do this readathon, I was like, now, you're going to pick it up now, and I'm so excited. This is historical fiction. It is about a famous opera star who has finally gotten to be the lead role in an original opera, and I mean, this is going to be like the height of her career, but when she gets the play or the opera and she starts reading through it, she realizes that the whole story is based on her life, and it reveals this big secret that only a few people in her life knew. So it was kind of like, who betrayed her? And I mean, opera, mystery, betrayal, like, yes please. Liberty Hardy actually picked this for Book of the Month Club. I got a free Book of the Month Club once, and this was my pick, and I am just itching to get to it. I am so pumped, and I think that it will just be a sweeping and beautiful read. The next two books I have picked out are classics. I don't think I will read both of them. I know I won't read both of them. I just knew I wanted to get to another classic in April, and I wasn't sure what I would be feeling, so I found two on my shelf that were over 500 pages. The first being The Tenant of Wildwood Hall by Anne Bronte. Isn't this copy of the vintage classics just beautiful? And I'll show you the end papers. Oh, so beautiful. But I really enjoyed Agnes Grey, which is Anne Bronte's other novel. I am really looking forward to getting to this. This is kind of a mysterious story as well. It follows Wildwood Hall. There is a widow and her son has just moved in. There's a lot of mystery surrounding her, and there's a man who kind of becomes enamored with her and wants to know what her backstory is. I think that this sounds really interesting to me right now, but with the Queen of the Night, I don't know if this is going to kind of be like a similar mysterious woman vibes, and I might not want to pick it up. I am reading North and South right now, which I think is going to also another more similar classic, so if I'm not feeling this one after finishing that, I have also picked out The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. I know you guys don't know my father-in-law, but this guy looks like a young version of my father-in-law. I asked my husband and he was like, yeah, that looks like my dad. It was crazy, but anyway. Grapes of Wrath is a Depression era modern classic. It is written during the Dust Bowl. It is all about poverty, rural America, showing just the poverty and the hardships of American citizens during the Depression, making their living as farmers and kind of just their hardships. And so I have heard that this is great. It's Steinbeck. I have read The Mice of Men, which is the only thing I read, which, you know, is a short little story, but I really enjoyed it, and I really want to get to some Steinbeck soon. And so I think this will be the one that I pick up, but I had The Tenant of Wildwood Hall if this one isn't pulling at my heartstrings at the particular moment. And then I think there's another challenge that is do a buddy read. I don't have one planned. If someone wants to pick one of these up, I would love to do that, but if not, you know, no big deal. I just won't do that challenge. But I'm really excited. This is the first readathon that I've ever done, and I think it's one that I'm really going to get on with well. I just think having the longer time period and just more space to kind of work in that will really work well for just my personality as a reader, and I just have some beautiful books picked out that I'm very excited. So I would love to know if you're doing Tome Topple, what some of the books that you've picked out. If you have a TBR, please let me know in the comments below, and I would love to go check that out. I'm really excited about this readathon. I've been watching a bunch of different videos and seeing all the things that people have picked out, and I love that there's some love being shown to some bigger books. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to talk to you guys soon, and I hope you have a great night. Bye.